Hey there, Mississippi State. My name is Marty Lang. I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Communication, Media, and Theater. And I'm also the author of a book called The Self-Sustaining Filmmaker, Creating Crowdsourced, Crowdfunded, and Community-Supported Independent Film. This is a book I wrote that came out last year. It's published by Routledge Focal Press. And it's about how independent filmmakers can take charge of their own careers and create a monetizable, sustainable career for their work. One thing we talk about in the book is three pillars of sort of new work, which are radical collaboration, an entrepreneurial mindset, and holistic filmmaking. If you'd like to learn more, the book is available wherever you can find your books online. And this is the cover of it right here. It's got a foreword from Emmy and Golden Globe winner Mark Duplass. And hopefully you'd like to check it out. Thanks.
If you could choose anything to dream about, what would you like to dream? This can be as creative as you like. It can include important people, cultural elements, or a favorite vacation spot. One of the things about the book that I wrote is that we often feel like we don't have control of our dreams. But what if I told you there's a whole science about how we can actually change our dreams and affect, what dreams we have and really determine that? I'm Dr. Michael Nadorf. I'm a professor of psychology at Mississippi State University, and I wrote the Nightmare and Sleep Disorder Toolkit along with Dr. Courtney Worley. So in this book, we help teach those that have nightmares how to change their dreams to have dreams that they want to have. But also, one of the things that is really cool about our book is that you can do this even if you don't have nightmares. If you want to have some fun and change the dreams you have, you totally can do that. And we teach the skills of how to do that in our book. To learn more about our book, you can find it pretty much anywhere. You can find it on Amazon. Last I looked, it's on Target, Walmart, pretty much anywhere you find books to buy. Or if you see me on campus, I'm happy to lend you a copy as well.
Hello, I'm Dr. Ann Marshall, and I'm a faculty member in the Department of History. I'm also the author of Cassius Marcellus Clay, The Life of an Anti-Slavery Slaveholder and the Paradox of American Reform. So this book is about a famous anti-slavery reformer from Kentucky named Cassius Marcellus Clay, who was himself, through the Civil War, a slaveholder. And in the book, I talk about how Clay became famous for defending himself in some bloody altercations with his Bowie knife and sometimes with cannons and guns. And this caused him to be sort of a sensational figure in the 19th century. But what I argue in the book is that despite the fact that Clay seems so unique in his approach to anti-slavery, that he was actually very typical in his anti-slavery beliefs and in his anti-slavery politics. One passage that kind of captures this is from the introduction, in which I say, through Clay's legendary deeds, as well as their often forgotten, misunderstood motivations, this book offers a more nuanced portrayal of the political ascendancy of anti-slavery thought in America. I argue that studying the convictions of Clay as well as his collaborators helps to reorient our understanding of antebellum anti-slavery sentiment. So if you want to check this book out, you can buy it wherever books are sold, at the campus Barnes & Noble, and also on Amazon as well, or at the University of North Carolina website.
Hi, I'm Ted Atkinson, a professor in the Department of English, and I'd like to introduce my book, Monumental Designs, Infrastructure, and the Culture of the Tennessee Valley Authority. My book presents a cultural history of the TVA from its formation under the New Deal to the present. The first part of the book examines works commissioned by the federal government to serve essentially as TVA propaganda. The second part of the book examines works that complicate what one historian has called the TVA myth. Overall, my book explores the complex relationship between infrastructure and culture that has enabled the TVA to become a major source of power and influence in the region, the nation, and the world.
Hello, Dr. Kamisha Swanson here. Just wanted to come to you to tell you a little bit about my most recently published book titled Conversations with Jasmine Ward. In these pages, you learn more about her writing style, but also who she is as a person and how being a Mississippian impacts her writing. While conducting this interview, I asked her a question about what her writing is for her and what she hopes her writing would be for readers. And that's one of my favorite quotes in this book. She says, "Writing is restorative for me. It feeds something in me. It nurtures something in me. It releases something in me. It enlarges me as a person, I feel like, and allows me to be more empathetic and hopefully more understanding and more aware of history and the connections between us." So, in all those ways, it is restorative for me. And so I hope, or I guess that I would hope that it would be restorative for readers too. Maybe not in all the same ways, but I hope that they do feel restored after spending time with these characters in the worlds that I write. And I do have to say that I definitely felt restored when I first encountered her writing. And I hope that you will feel restored after encountering this book as well. You can purchase it through the publisher, the University Press of Mississippi, online. You can also purchase it in major bookstores online, whether that be Amazon, Barnes and Noble, whatever bookstore you would typically purchase your books. And I hope to see it in more local bookstores as well. But again, Conversations with Jasmine Ward. Thank you all so much.
Hi, my name is Dr. Candace Lukasik. I'm an assistant professor of religion in the Department of Philosophy and Religion at Mississippi State University. Last year, I published 2 books. The first is Martyrs and Migrants, Coptic Christians and the Persecution Politics of U.S. Empire, which focuses on how attention to Middle Eastern Christians as part of a perspective on global Christian persecution, how that perspective impacts upon Coptic migrants to the United States. Coptic Christians are the largest community of Christians remaining in the Middle East, and they have a very sizable population here in the United States. So what that position between martyrdom and migration does to this particular Middle Eastern Christian community is what this book focuses on. The second is an edited volume I published with Dr. Sarah Riccardi-Schwartz, entitled Anthropologies of Orthodox Christianity, Theology, Politics, and Ethics with Fordham University Press. And this focuses anthropologically on the entwinement of theology and politics among Orthodox Christians from Ethiopia to Russia, Palestine to the United States. And it really is the first volume of its kind to think across these contexts and to think about Orthodox Christianity in its political, theological, and ethical forms together.
Hello, my name is Samyak Shertok, and this is my debut collection, No Rhododendron, published by the University of Pittsburgh Press, winner of the 2024 AWP Donald Hart Prize for Poetry, selected by Kimiko Han. This book is a love letter to my mother and mother tongue, and to my father and father tongue. It's also a poetry of witness in response to the decade-long Maoist conflict in Nepal. The Last Himalayan Beekeeper. Let it be said, Amma was the last Himalayan beekeeper. When she harvested honey barehanded in the stone house we lived in, she took not juniper smoke but song to the hive. Home is one blossom and 1,000 stings. The bees flew into her oiled black hair, and when she combed it, down fell the rhododendrons. Let it be said, not a single bee stung her. The summer before I left home, she fed me raw honey from her palm every night. In the dark, I learned to hold bees in my throat, one for every ancestor. Let it be said, not a single bee died. To learn more about the book, you can visit my personal website, samyakshertok.com, or the page of the press, University of Pittsburgh Press. Thank you very much.